Good evening and welcome to another live stream from a home in Italy. Live from beautiful Abruzzo that's enjoying some stunning spring weather at the moment. Hope everybody is well. Unfortunately, I've got a little bit of man flu again. I seem to be forever getting this. I don't know where it is. It just won't go away. So apologies if I sort of cough and choke and everything else all the way through the show, but I will do my best. I promise you that. And what a show we've got for you tonight. It's everybody's favorite. It's Meet the Home Buyers. Absolutely great to coming on to share their experience and to tell you all about their fantastic home in beautiful Popoli, or as it's now known, Popoli Terme. So we'll be meeting those in about 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes after I've finished waffling on as I usually do. So I hope everybody's is doing well. We had a little bit of a scare to start with. Well, it wasn't a scare. It would have actually been quite good news because Tony's microphone wasn't working. But unfortunately, we have got it going again. So you will be hearing from him later. So tonight we've got the what have we got? What have we got today? It's Meet the Home Buyers. I've already said that. We're also going to be doing stunning photos. We've also got the return of Tony and Domenico's, or Domenico and Tony's tongue-twisting travels. And then we're getting down to the business of why we actually do these shows. So there you go. What else have I got to say? Let's talk about the tour. The last tour was absolutely fantastic. 2 weeks ago, complete washout with the weather, but we still had a brilliant, absolutely brilliant time. The next one is on the 8th and 9th of May, and there's actually 6 spaces left. We had a last-minute cancellation, or a couple of last-minute cancellations, one of which was a bit of a group booking. So we have got 6 spaces left. So if you do want to come on that, jump on it. It's only a month away, 8th and 9th of May. Go onto the website, which is no, it's not. It's www.ahomeinitaly.com. Remember, it's ahomeinitaly.com. And just click on tours and you can go ahead and book on there. If not, you can come at the end of May on the 29th and 30th. There's only 2 spaces left on that one. Then what we have is what have we got? It's the autumn dates, because we don't do them throughout the summer because it just gets too hot. So the confirmed autumn dates, I have mentioned this before, they're all available to book on the site. September the 25th and 26th, October the 23rd and 24th, and November the 6th and 7th. September one has, I think, 1 coach has already been filled. So that one is booking up quick. The October and November ones, there's still plenty of spaces on there. But remember, they do start to sell out pretty quick as time goes on. So make sure you book if you want to come and see us on there. What else have I got to say? If you're looking to rent a property out here in glorious Abruzzo, then you can contact our friends at rentingabruzzo@gmail.com if you're looking for long-term or short-term or mid-term or whatever term you want. These are the guys to contact. There's also a reference there to their YouTube channel, youtube.com/@rentingabruzzo, or email them at rentingabruzzo@gmail.com. I'm sure they'll let you know the kind of properties they've got. They've got some fantastic properties that, as I say, either medium, short, long, however long you want to stay there. It's entirely up to you. You can stay there forever if you like. I'm sure they won't mind. So just get in touch with our friends over there. The other thing that I want to tell you is, what do I want to tell you, Tony? What is it? Oh, yeah. Remember, I spoke about it last week. Remember, if you are interested in purchasing a property, as in you are ready to go, if you're ready to go and you want to jump on some of these properties and you want early access to Saturday's video properties and more things, some of Domenico's special videos, which you won't know about unless you join Patreon, then go onto our website and click on the Patreon link. There, if you join us, there is a cost to it. It is €14 per month, or 14 per month. But you get early access to Saturday's video properties. As well as that, you get extra video properties that don't make it onto the channel because we can't put them all on. It's just impossible. And there's also a chat room on there as well where people get to know each other. And it's just all good stuff. So if you are looking to purchase in the next few months, or you're ready to go, Patreon is the way to go. If you're not looking to buy something straight away, then just carry on watching these Tuesday evenings, get to know about this amazing place and some of the legal stuff that we do as well, and maybe join us on a tour, something like that, because that's the best way to do it. Patreon is for those that are ready to go. Have I finished, Tony? I think so. What shall we do now? Before we get started, let's do the stunning photo of the week. Stunning photo of the week this week. I was hoping that Tony then would have got rid of it. That's it. You see, he's learning. Look, stunning photo of the week. You see, nice and fluid. All nice and fluid. Stunning photo of the week this week comes from, who does it come from? It comes from Nikki. And hopefully, Nikki is going to be one of our Meet the Home Buyers soon, because she's just bought a fantastic, well, not just, but just out to see their amazing place in Riano. I don't know if you remember the video, under the clock tower, the property that was under there. They've come this week, absolutely thrilled, and she sent me this photograph. I'm not going to tell you the message that she said, but she bought quite a lot of things from IKEA. It was a nice descriptive way of saying we bought quite a lot of things from IKEA. I'll leave that to the imagination, but look at that for a photograph. What a great photograph. So that is Rocca Casali at the bottom. This must be zoomed in an awful long way, possibly from Riano, I'm not sure. But look at the mountains. This is the scenery, ladies and gentlemen, that we're getting at the minute, because we've had a very strange last couple of weeks. So some more snow has been dropped on the mountains, but it's springtime, so the green is starting to come out. I absolutely love this time of year, and look at that for a great, great photograph. So thank you so much, Nikki. Really, really appreciate that. As I said, these spring colors are they're just amazing. I'm going to get all emotional and talk about spring. Anyway, that's stunning photo of the week. Remember, if you do have some stunning photos, send them to me at info@homeinitaly.com. I've still got a few to go through. I might start adding 2 or 3 to them, but please send them to me. It doesn't matter if you're not in Abruzzo. It could be a stunning photograph of where you live. It could be a stunning anything. Just send me a photograph. It could be something funny. It could be something serious. Whatever you like. Obviously, keep it clean, please. Tony's got a smile on his face. Anyway, it's now time. What's it time for? It's time. It is time to bring him on. It is time to bring it on. And his microphone, unfortunately, is working. Terry Rosso has just said hi from Riano. Hi, Terry. Hope everything. Terry's moved out here. She's come out all on her own. In fact, Terry, we need to do and meet the home buyers. I would like to. I'd love to catch up with you. It's really strange because all these people that have bought properties, the vast majority, I've never even met them. And even Cathi and Chris that's coming on today, it's really strange because we have a phone relationship, and then we've seen each other briefly on webcam just now to do a test, and it is really strange for us. Troy, hi everyone from Troy and Tanya in the and now closing date for Pretza. P.S. Tony rocks. Troy, I did tell you today, if you keep mentioning Tony on your thing, we are going to, in fact, I need to make, when did we say we're doing the closing? The 16th, I think it is, next week, isn't it? We might have to move that along a little bit. I can't wait to do yours, Troy. I really can't wait. It's been a while coming, but finally yours is going through, and hopefully you'll be a future Meet the Home Buyer as well. Okay, it's time to bring him on, isn't it? Hold on, let me just see. How do I get him on? Here he is. Good evening.
Hey, good evening.
Microphone's working again. Then I've seen.
Yeah. I did put it on in the end.
Yeah.
But, I didn't really want it because I have to do this, don't I?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Anyway, here we go. Are you ready? For those of you who wonders what's going off, this is Domenico and Tony's tongue twisting trial. Oh, wrong one. Look, these are so bad, these things, aren't they? So what have we got? Hold on. Oh, that's
You've not sent me anything yet.
No, I'm just playing with these. No,
that's more like it, a laugh.
So anybody that's joining us for the first time, this is where Tony gets to speak in his fantastic Italian. He's going to do a famous quote from a famous film, and he's going to say it all in Italian. And then later in the show, Domenico, our agent in the Sulmona area, is going to come on and he's going to say it in his best English. And at that point, and only at that point, you're going to try and guess the film. I think I've made it a little bit too easy this week. And after last week, I should have made it hard because that was hard last week. Anyway, I'm sending it to you now. It's coming on your WhatsApp now as we speak.
I've got my phone up.
You've got 2 seconds to study it. It's not too bad. And I'm going to... It's not. That's not as long as last week.
There's some really long words, though. I'm not very good with long words.
Yeah. But I think I've made it too easy this week. Right, Tony, you got to listen now in the style. You got to say it as if you're. It's got to be like an inspiring speech. Yeah. The last word is the one that you've really got to. Imagine that you're sort of the president of the. I'm not saying anything. No, don't mention politics. Just imagine that you're somebody in a lot of power, and the last word you've really got to give it some. You ready?
Yeah, go on then.
Go.
Non ci arrederemo silenziosamente al notte. Non svaniremo senza combattere. Andremo avanti, sopravviveremo.
It actually wasn't too bad. It wasn't,
it was an hectic week, Hannah.
Wasn't quite the inspiring, didn't give me much inspiration, but it wasn't bad.
Boilers put in and lights put up and after everybody.
Yeah, sad story. Bye. There you go. Can anybody guess it from that? No, we're not even going to try and guess it from that. We'll wait while later. We'll wait for Domenico to come on. Right. I think that's all. Is that everything that we've done? I think we're just about ready. Let me just double check that there's nothing else to read out. I've written a few things down here. Where am I going? Oh yeah. Yes. There is one other thing. Two things, but one I'm not going to tell you about. I'm just going to tease it a little bit longer because I did say on the last Saturday's videos that there's going to be a new announcement soon for something else that's coming up, and there is, but I'm not going to tell you what it is. So that's called reading a notice out. Anyway, you'll find out soon what's going to be happening. And the other thing has completely slipped my mind. Oh no, the other thing is Currencies Direct. Currencies Direct, our man David Nixon, who was going to pop in onto the show today, but he's going to pop in next week. He's got something to say as well. I'm not going to tell you what that is either. No, he's got something to say because can you remember when they promised us? They promised on the last show. In fact, it was the head of. No, I think it was the owner of the company. If I remember rightly, I think he may be a French chap, if I remember, promised that they would be able to deal with all the states in the US rather than just some of them. Well, David next week is coming on to give you some big news. So that's pretty much obvious what he's going to tell you. But he will come on and all will be explained. He's going to come on for a 5-minute cameo. So there you go. That's the last notice. Are we ready? Is it time? It's time. What's Tony written there? Is there a definitive answer about Canadians being able to buy property in Italy? Pointless Googlings. I get a ton of different something. I can't read the last word. I will answer that actually before, because strangely enough, the people that are coming on, even though they had a workaround, are Canadian. And we've got, but yes, at the time when tonight's couple bought, it was in the not so sure stage. I can confirm that our notary will allow sales to go through using a law that's been passed, and some notaries for some strange reason still won't do it, and I don't know why. But our notary is more than he's very high up as a notary. He's very well respected, so he's not just going to make this thing up. And plus, it will be far more than his job's worth if it was. But if it's in a town less than 10,000 people, then we can, and we have in the last maybe not a year yet, do signings for Canadians. So yes is the answer to you. And if you go on the internet, you will find the usual internet experts that haven't got a clue what they're talking about, and they're the ones that you shouldn't be listening to, and exactly why you should be tuning in on a Tuesday night like you are doing now. Does that answer that? Okay. It's time to bring on Cathi and Chris. Let's meet this week's Meet the Home Buyers. Good evening.
Ciao. Hi, guys.
How are you both doing? You okay?
Yeah. Very well.
Absolutely fantastic. So as I was saying before, we've never even met each other. We've done business together. You've sent lots of money to places where we told you to send it. You had no idea where you were sending it, what you were doing. But anyway, it's all worked out in the end, hopefully. So it's
perfectly well. Yeah, it worked out perfectly well.
It's fantastic to see you both. Okay, so let's start from the very beginning before we talk about the town where you bought and before we talk about the house and all that kind of thing. Whose idea was all of this to suddenly get something in Italy? Where did it all come from? You didn't see what Chris did behind your back then.
Yeah.
So where did the idea come from? How did it all come about?
So for the last probably 13 years, we had been spending our holiday time in British Columbia, which is the province that's just next to us. It's about a 3-hour drive from our home. And we had plans of potentially buying a very small plot of land and building a very modest cabin. But when the opportunity presented itself for us to do it, we kind of just had some second guessed it a little bit. It's a, you know, it can be a colder climate. It was going to be, you know, far more expensive than what we had originally planned for, and we just kind of put a pause in it. And needless to say that you know, we were trying to think ahead to retirement time, and a colleague of mine at work who was closer to retiring, he said, "Have you ever thought about, you know, Spain, Portugal, Italy?" And I went, "Italy?" And he said, "Yeah, you know, there's some really good websites that you can go on and kind of go through that rabbit hole of properties." And long story short, we, you know, kind of started doing that, and we came across your YouTube channel, Dave, and we just got a really good feeling for you personally. I think it was because you were British and I'm British, born in England, and I had a good feel for it. So anyways, Chris and I proceeded to watch all of the videos, like
every single video,
saved them, you know, to
rewatch them.
Rewatched.
You actually rewatched them then, not just once. Then you actually.
Oh no! I mean, we had a saved. I still got a saved list of my favorite home in Italy, you know, properties. And then we just said, well, I guess it would have been perhaps maybe January of last year. And I said to Chris, we should just book a tour with Dave. We've never been to Italy. And then we kept watching videos. And Dave, I can remember this. So we're in Canada. So when you release your videos on Saturday, they show up in the morning. And I work most Saturdays in my line of work. And so I've got my phone, you know, propped on the faucet in the bathroom, and I'm putting on my makeup, kind of watching the videos. Anyways, this one Saturday, I don't know what happened. I didn't watch the video. I got to work, things were a little bit quiet, and I thought, oh, geez, I forgot to watch the video. I put the video on, and it was of the property that we ended up getting. I texted Chris immediately, and I said, have you watched the video yet? And Chris said,
no, he's making coffee.
And he said, not yet. So I gave him like 10 minutes and I said, have you watched it? And he was like, well, okay, well, just a sec, I'll go watch it. And I said, honey, I think this is it. And he said, have you emailed Dave yet? And I said, well, no, I wouldn't do that without, you know, your go ahead kind of thing.
I think she already emailed you.
No, I didn't. I hadn't.
We'll check those times. I'll check. I must have the original email. I'll get back to you, Chris. I'll let you know.
But I did after I kind of got that go ahead. I did. And of course, you had replied back and said that we were number 2 on the list. And I was like, that's it. We missed it. And, but anyways, needless to say, it came together and, you know, we're still pinching ourselves. We're giddy. It's just awesome. Absolutely awesome.
So it all just came from an idea from somebody at work, and then you thought, start looking on the internet as people do, and everything just seemed to fall into place. So
we literally, I think from the time that that we started kind of looking at videos to when we actually pulled the trigger, I mean, it was like probably about 4 months.
Yeah.
4 months. So yeah, it was, but we, we investigated it. And I, as silly as it sounds, given that we bought a place online, never had been to Italy, hadn't seen the place in person, which I'm very risk adverse, and I know it doesn't sound like that, but I investigate the heck out of everything. And I do kind of the either on paper or at least mentally, risks versus reward. And I didn't see a downside of this. And of course, we talked about it at length. And, after, finding out that the place was available to us and that we could get it, I said to Chris, I said, I really think we need to do this. I think this is going to be exciting. And one of the best things that we've ever done in our life. And it has been, it's been absolutely awesome.
Brilliant. So whereabouts do you live at the moment? Where do you live now? Where are you?
So we're in Alberta.
Okay.
So we would for perhaps the American viewers that you have, we are literally just above Montana. So we're considered Western Canada. So
Second province in from the left.
So we've got British Columbia, Vancouver, which is everyone knows for Vancouver. We're the next province over.
Okay.
So yeah.
So Chris, how did you feel when Cathi suddenly said, "I think we should really do this"? What I mean, you pointed when I said who was the driver in it all. What did you honestly think when, and especially when things started to get real? What did you think?
I mean, again, like Cathi explained, she's investigated the heck out of everything. I'm quite happy to go where my wife wants to go, honestly. But in saying that, it's been a great experience. We're both working still. I'm fortunate enough in the industry that I'm in, which is the boat industry. We're pretty slow in the winter, so the place where I work, we're actually closed for 3 weeks over Christmas and New Year's. So it works out well that I don't need to use much holiday time at that time, or any holiday time, honestly. Cathi, we try and time it over, so there's already some holiday days in there. So we get to kind of experience both seasons too right now. We were out there over New Year's between 24 and 25. We're going back out again in July. It was a little nerve-wracking at first, but it's honestly, it's been one of the best things that we've done. And I think long-term, it's going to be, a fantastic move for us.
Definitely. So obviously you say you went along with it and everything else. So once the process, I do ask people this often, because I am always intrigued as to how people really feel. But once the process started to get real, so obviously we did the first deposit, as people do, just to hold things off and show that you're serious, and then we move on, and then you paid the next deposit, the compromesso, and then obviously we moved to the final signing. You'd still not been out there. We'd done all the power of attorneys. And if I remember right, there was an error, wasn't it? Yeah, I was just come back to me now. I forgot about
that. It was a fun one, that one, yeah. We call that down to the wire here in Canada.
Yeah, that has just come flooding back to me now. But obviously at that point, then we're saying, okay, you need to send the money here. All this is done by email and WhatsApp and everything else. You'd still no idea what you were doing. How did you? I asked this to everybody, but how did you honestly feel when once the money started leaving your bank account and moving over to Italy? Did you have any doubts or any worries? Or no?
We used Currencies Direct.
Yeah.
No, I mean, like, there was never a question of
the authenticity of it.
Yeah, or security or anything like that. That company, I did a little bit of research and stuff on it, and no, it was perfect. And like, as I said to you earlier, Dave, I mean, we trust you and Silvana and Domenico, and Tony. Gotta say that. Completely.
I know you're just
right?
being nice.
No, but no, there's no no, there's no hesitation on my part. I had no fears. Did you? Didn't have anything. Yeah, no. Not at all. Not at all.
So there was never no worries. So then once it came then to, obviously we're gonna start talking a little bit about where you chose and the rest of it, because you say you'd never been to Italy before, so obviously you'd never been to Abruzzo before, never knew. You were telling me something earlier that you got to the stage where you thought, well, if it's the kind of feeling, not the feeling, but what I got from what you were saying earlier is almost like, if it's not an amazing place, then at least it's in a good location and we can go to different places.
Yeah,
is that how you started to feel at one point?
Yeah, it was like, again, it's the old risk versus reward thing, right? And I was of the mindset that, regardless, it would be a jumping off point for us to explore Italy. And, I mean, like I say, we watched all the videos. I'd done other research a little bit about the area of Abruzzo, just a very little bit about it. The part that I kind of liked about it is that where we are in Alberta, Alberta and BC, those provinces are separated by the Rocky Mountains. And so the mountains in Italy and Abruzzo are a little bit different, but it's still kind of similar. Right. It's kind of similar to what we're used to. And that appealed to us as well. But I felt like it was a good fit. And we also, we're trying to think about not like just immediate, oh, I like the look of that property, but we were trying to make a list of what was important to us in terms of long-term for retirement. So we knew. Sorry.
You take into account all of those things that, being in a different country, maybe not being able to have a car all of the time, hospital, train stations, transport, and I mean, in Popoli, the train runs. I mean, I've got drone video of the train coming in and out of town, and it's across the river that I can go fishing in. And, we can get anywhere. We can go anywhere that we want to, whether it's north or south. It's easy access. It's right off the autostrada.
So it became sort of, when you look at it in your almost your practical side before your heart, because you'd never been there. I suppose you must have had a distant feeling almost about the place, because how were you to know what it was going to be like?
We felt that, after watching all the videos, we felt that really anywhere in that area was going to be great. And we had been on, Google Maps and stuff, and we were kind of like, okay, so Mona is right there. We're close to Pescara. We're close to the Adriatic. We're less than 2 hour drive from Rome. Keep in mind that the property that we used to go to just about every weekend in British Columbia was a 3 hour drive there and a 3 hour drive back. And we did that every weekend. Right. So a 2 hour drive we were like, this is nothing, right? Easy. But the thing where we feel that we really hit the lottery with Popoli is that it's access to the autostrada. And the fact that it's in the valley, for us personally, and I mean, the hilltop towns and stuff, they're beautiful. They've got fantastic views and vistas and whatnot. But for us, what we were concerned with is driving and traversing mountain roads, then having to, to get down. And that with Popoli, it's relatively flat. So it's walkable. As I say, the train station's there. Truthfully, and this is the perhaps the embarrassing part, is that we didn't really realize how it was located. We just kind of liked we liked the video, we liked the size of the town, that it had all these elements that we were looking for, but we didn't realize how fortunate we were in its location.
Yeah.
That was just a big win.
Superb. So once everything had gone through, and obviously the house was yours again, it must feel surreal. I mean, we do this all the time, and I was saying to you earlier, Cathi, we've got so many keys that people have still not collected. It is surreal. It's just crazy that you go through this thing with people, you get them through it, and then that's it. And then nobody, obviously most people come out, but there's still a lot that haven't. So once you'd actually booked your trip, I'm going to put a few photographs on now because I love this. And you were coming out to Popoli. How did you then feel? I'm showing this first because you told me, did you get this from the airplane?
Yeah. That was on the flight over, and Chris actually found that you can tap onto your trip, right? Your trip from Calgary to Rome, and we were just zooming, and we got it. And we're like, hey, there's Popoli. That's on the back of the plane. It was pretty cool.
Super. And it says distance to destination 8,471 kilometers. I don't know if that was to Popoli or to Rome, but so once the reality then kicked in, obviously you started heading here, you landed in Rome, coming over to Popoli. How did you feel then once you actually saw the place?
Well, so we got to. I don't know if you remember this, Dave, but when we got in, you guys had signed the paperwork earlier in the day.
Yes.
And we had to. We decided that it might be smart to drop off the paperwork that we had brought with us with the notaries or the notary. So we had to drive to Cathi. So we actually went to Cathi first.
Yeah, I remember now.
And
then we went to IKEA.
And then we
were talking about IKEA.
I had my list of stuff. So we went to IKEA. We loaded up the rental car with just the very basic stuff, the dishes and forks and stuff. I made this kind of preliminary list. We pull into Popoli, and we're trying to recognize, landmarks, if you will, from the video. And we must have watched our property video, probably 50 times before we, so we're looking and our property, we couldn't find it on Google Maps. It wasn't located. And I think the reason why is that the small street that's outside of our property is not really
it's not
vehicle worthy, so to speak, right?
It wouldn't be drivable by the Google Maps car.
So we're like, okay, we've got to
go up.
We've got to find the yellow arch, the arch that Dave, so we've left our luggage in the vehicle, and we're walking, we're looking, and we're like, okay, there's this place. And then we find it. And we're like, oh my gosh, we're here. And so for our place, you had to go through a tunnel. Yeah. And I get my phone out to videotape this because I want to send it back to our daughter, Grace. And we're like, we were just, I was giddy. And so we come up to the home, and we didn't realize it, but Myrna, who was the owner of the property, was actually up on the balcony looking down for us. Anyway, so we buzzed the number, and it was just surreal, Dave. Like, you cannot understand how surreal it is when you have watched this video over and over and over, and you are walking through
standing in the
doorway, and it's like, oh my God, we're here. Anyways,
there's our cantina, there's our stairs.
Yeah, we look up the stairs, and Myrna's there, and of course, North America, and I go, Myrna, and she goes, Myrna, and I'm like, yeah. And so we go up, and of course, we walk into the property, and I start bawling, like as you do. And Myrna's son, Marco, who spoke a little bit of English, was there, and he said, my mama, she is so happy that you are crying because she knows you love the place, and we love this place. And it was that was the step that just bonded us. And we have become such good friends with Myrna and Enzo. We talk just about every week, actually more than that, at least every week. We hang out with them when we're there. We send stuff back and forth. We exchange Christmas presents. They said it was so touching when we were out there in January. They said, we feel like Enzo has gained a brother in Chris, and Myrna has gained a sister in Cath. And there's lots of tears and crying. They're wonderful people. Yeah. We feel so fortunate that we've met them.
That's brilliant. I mean, we're going to talk a little bit about the Abruzzo people as we did earlier. But before, I want to show the house. Before we do, what were your impressions? I'll go back to showing people Popoli. What were your impressions of Popoli as a town before we go into the house? When you got there, how did you feel?
Beautiful.
Fantastic. Yeah. Just beautiful. Yeah. I mean, like, how do you not love that?
So going back to your thoughts of, well, if it's not so great, then at least we've got access to. Did you just forget all of that after once you were here?
Gosh, yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, driving there, Dave, just en route driving. We're like, look at this place, and I mean, we were so excited just pulling off the autostrada and coming into the town. Yeah, these are pictures from Chris's drone.
I did wonder. I was thinking to myself,
yeah,
did you go to the castle? Then I thought, no, the castle's to the left. How on earth is it? Right,
no, we got our daughter Grace and we got Chris a drone for Father's Day, I think it was, wasn't it?
Yeah, right. Just
before we left. And so, yeah, this was the first time that Chris put the drone up.
Great picture. And just to let everybody know as well, I hope people can see my little white cursor on the screen. But obviously, this is Popoli. But then if you look in the distance and follow my arrow, this here is Vittorito, which there's 5-10 minutes between. Round this corner and this flat little area here is Raiano. Then here we have Corfino. And then right in the distance, this little town stuck to the mountainside is Preza. And then we have Sulmona that's it's just so people get an idea that all these places are so close together, aren't they? They're so easy to get from one to another.
Yeah, the access to all of those places. I mean, they're literally like 10 minutes away.
8 minutes.
8 minutes, like nothing.
Yeah, and even going down to IKEA. I mean, for you guys, you jump on the motorway. What is it? Half an hour in the car, and you've got all the modern facilities that you need, and
it's like it's funny because when we started to do the painting and stuff, we went into Sulmona is where we bought the paint stuff from, and we realized afterwards that there was actually a place in Popoli that we could have got the paint from. There's another hardware store that's a little bit bigger that we've frequented a couple of times, that has everything's accessible. People that think that, number one, that there's no people in these towns and that you don't have access to stuff. That's an absolute fallacy. It's like,
there's nobody in the town between 1 and 3 because they're all eating and having a nap. It's a ghost town. But other than that, there's people everywhere. Everything's open. Everything is accessible. Anything you need was within 10 minutes. It's like sometimes when you're watching the videos and you'll say this town has a coffee bar, and it has a small grocery store. Like when you hear that, you kind of think, oh gosh, is that all it has? Honest to goodness, it's all you need. And if you go 5 minutes down the road, there's that much more. The market, I'm sure a lot of your viewers have watched the Popoli videos before. The market, nuts. It's fabulous. It's everything you could possibly want. When we got our property, they had a very small fridge, what we would call in North America a bar fridge. And I get it. I understand why you can easily get away with a very small fridge, and it's because
you buy everything fresh every couple of days. And if you've never had an Italian tomato, guys, I'm telling you, like
it's true, isn't it? Everything's different, isn't it? Everything's different.
Everything's better. Like, let's just be honest here.
I agree. I've just seen a quick note from somebody, a quick statement from David, who's mentioned it's good to see how close Vittorito is to Popoli, and that's the great thing, that all of these towns, obviously, you get what you need. If you live in Vittorito, you pop 5-10 minutes down to the road, you get from Popoli, but you might also go in 5-10 minutes in the road and you go to Raiano, or you may go to Sulmona, or you may go to and that's the thing with these areas, isn't it? It's not wherever you choose, whatever suits you. And as you say, even if the town's only got maybe a couple of bars and one restaurant, that is all you need for your local life, and that, because you're so close to everything else. And I think that's the key thing. You've hit it on the head with that. Is you don't have to think I need to be in a huge center because there's nothing around. It's just not like that, is it?
No, you don't. And it's like we found, granted, the first couple of days when we were there on the first trip, we were busy painting and stuff, but we honestly don't eat out that much when we're there. We make a lot of food. We make a lot of pasta. We it's so accessible that it makes sense just to, stay in our lovely home and eat.
And inexpensive, like,
and cheap as chips.
You talk about what, if you were to make an Italian charcuterie board here, like it's going to cost you $80-90 for olives, prosciutto, and cheese, and it's like €4, and you've got a table's worth of. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
It's mad, isn't it? It's mad. So talking about the house then, so obviously I know the tunnel that you mean when you were walking up the house. It was dark, was it? It was dark. I don't think it was daylight, was it? Were you there?
No, we got there during the day.
Yeah, it was. So obviously you're walking through the tunnel. Hopefully some people are going to remember this property as we go through. So obviously you're part of this palazzo, this palazzo. Hopefully people can see the arrow. I think you're sort of the middle floor, if I remember rightly, and the entrance is here. So some people may remember this. Before I show inside the house, and I want to just try and run the video at the same time, what I loved about this property, apart from the amazing features that were inside, was your little hidden courtyard. So do you want to tell people about that? I'm going to try and show the video as you're telling, because for me that was the thing that made that property something really special. I'll let you describe as I'm going to try and do this. Hopefully everybody can see.
So 2 entrances to the property. And all of this stuff, of course, was cleared out.
Yeah, this is the before you got it, isn't it?
Yeah, but this is how you can certainly enter the property here, and it just takes you out into this wonderful open space.
And it's nice because when we were out there, when we first came out last year, it was 43 odd degrees during the day.
Yeah,
and you can sit in there. And it's nice, but you don't get direct sunlight, so you can still be outside, and not sweating like crazy. Like it's open, but it's closed enough.
Yeah. And it's private space too. So the people that are 1 floor up, is the mom of Mirna and Enzo, and then the space above that is empty. So it's private. And for us, really, for the time being, we'll be making 2 trips a year. Kind of that's the game plan. And so, it's perfectly private. And when we're not there, we're not upsetting anybody else. It works out really great.
But the atmosphere that gives as well, isn't it? Because a lot of these properties, a lot of these big sort of palazzo properties, they sometimes don't have windows in the back because they may be backed up to other properties and that sort of thing. But it just gives it that extra bit, doesn't it? That lots of people will miss. So going into the property, obviously, let me just get rid of this one. Okay, so moving into the property. Obviously, the thing before you guys took hold of it, it did have some quite, I'm not going to say bizarre colors, but it was quite, this photograph's not the best one that I took, but your ceilings are huge vaulted ceilings, aren't they? This is obviously before you've done anything. This is before you bought it. But I mean, the ceilings have got to be at least 3 meters, but it did have some bizarre purple and blue walls, didn't it?
It did, yeah. And it was funny actually, because when we went to the paint place, we were trying to describe, what we were trying. And we kind of said, it's a weird kind of metallic finish to it.
Yes.
And he opened this paint sample, and it's a thing. And you do like one color, and then you kind of finish it with like a metallic glaze on top, and it's a thing. But needless to say, it was all going to go away. So this is just when. And those I was telling you earlier, Dave, those drop cloths and stuff, we packed all that stuff with us. We brought 2 huge suitcases and 2 backpacks. So the backpacks actually had our clothes in it, and the suitcases had painting supplies, drills, paint rollers, drop cloths, because we had the stuff, and it was kind of like, well, why would we go there to buy it? Let's just take it. And it worked out really well.
Brilliant. So obviously you got onto this pretty quick. I remember you sending me this photograph, but I think the finish that you've created, but obviously going to simple colors. Sorry about the white background on this one, but it just makes it completely different. It really, it must look completely different inside now. Is this still what was that room that I've just shown now? That was the lounge, yeah?
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, we changed it around. They were using that area as the living room, and the dining room we switched. What they were using as the dining room, we switched to the living room, and we put a hide-a-bed and stuff in there. Yes, obviously kept the bedroom the same, but it painted that. And
so even in here, this was a blue color. But again, the rooms are really nice and spacious, and these vaulted ceilings. They're something special, aren't they? And I always say to people, even if you don't reveal them, just painting them white makes them look incredible. And that's exactly what, I don't know if it is white, but it looks absolutely superb. It looks
we're really pleased with it. It's it was funny actually, because whenever we watch your videos, Dave, and we love when you give your suggestions. I know you suggest that people give you some flack for it, but when you were doing the suggestions on this place, I was like, yep, put that, make that dining room. Yep, I agree. Make that the living room. Yeah, 100%.
So this obviously was the dining room when they had it, but you say you made this in this. I mean, this looks white at the moment. It's not, but was this a yellow color?
That one was yellow.
It was like pearlized yellow. Yeah.
Okay. And again, you've gone back to the simple. I mean, it looks absolutely amazing. It really does. And those vaulted ceilings, they just, you're in Italy. And then when you look through the window there, when you look at it, you see the old buildings across the road. It's you've done a really good job. Really, really impressive.
Yeah, thank you. We're super pleased with it. And like I was saying earlier, between the 2 trips that we've made now, I think we're pretty much done. Like this last trip, he's laughing because he knows that there's always more. But we've decided, we're hanging pictures now. This is the previous.
Yeah, that previous. Have you still got that dining table in there? Do you still have it?
We do. Yeah, we've moved it. We've kind of moved it against the wall and gotten rid of a couple of the chairs. We've put them in storage rather, but just to kind of open up that space a little bit, we put the shelf up and we painted that as well, because that the kitchen in that area was all a very, very, very pale yellow. Yes. So we went through the same color throughout the entire house. We put the open shelving up just to kind of, free up some space for cabinets, and we'll put something on the wall there. Oh yes.
So that was one of many.
That was many
one of your trips to IKEA.
Start the car moments at IKEA. Yeah, just oh gosh.
Brilliant.
Yeah, weighing down that little rental car. Yeah, this is January. Me,
Painting the shop.
we're working on the shelves to go up, and yeah, it's fun.
Brilliant. So one of the photographs that did concern me slightly, obviously we're seeing you, Cath, doing quite a bit of work and everything else.
Oh, Dave, you're a comedian.
There it is. Look, yeah. I think
After painting for 10 hours
Chris,
in 45-degree weather.
Chris, so not to be too graphic, but Chris had to resort to painting in his underwear because it was a little bit hot. But Chris, he was an absolute workhorse with the painting. And painting in Italy, for those of you guys who are watching who are needing to do this, plaster walls. So in North America, drywall, pretty straightforward, roll super quick, boom, boom, boom. Painting plaster is a whole different thing. And if I understand it correctly, what the Italians typically do is they brush the paint on. We thought, well, this is going to be easy. We're going to roll.
I figured I'd have it painted in a day and a half, be done.
We're not going to have to cut in square corners. It's all this big rolling stroke. And of course, what would happen is that the plaster would want to come off. So very, very careful. Anyways, needless to say, what we thought was only going to take a couple of days ended up taking, I think, 4.5. And Chris was an absolute workhorse on it and made it beautiful.
I mean, I agree. When we first moved here, and we agreed that my wife, my mum, and the 2 kids stayed down by the beach, and me and my dad would come up and paint the house. And we thought exactly the same. A couple of days, we'll be finished. Yeah. I remember just doing with a roller, doing the ceiling, and half of the ceiling was on the brush. It was like, what on earth? And yeah, it's a big lesson to be learned. But I must say though, I absolutely love this photograph. I think this is everything I think about when. I mean, it looks like you're on your telephone there, so it's modern man on the telephone, whoever it is. But look at that backdrop, and this is why sometimes people think of Italy and they think, well, there must be nothing there. I wonder if they've got televisions. I wonder if they've got cars in these places. Because when you look at that, it is like something out of a film set, isn't it? And this is just at the end of your you can see this if you hang out of your window, can't you, basically, this church. But I think that is just such a classic photograph, because I can imagine years gone by, that there'll be photographs somewhere of people coming out of that church that just got married, in the 1800s, whenever. And then all of a sudden, Chris has sat there, just finished painting on probably his iPhone or whatever it is. I think it's absolutely brilliant photograph. Yeah. So it's all done and all ready for you to come back. And obviously you love the whole thing. Cathi, we spoke a little bit earlier about something that I hold dear to my heart as well. And it's not just about the house. It's not just about the area. A huge thing is the people, isn't it? And how they are.
It's the most important thing. It's the most important thing, Dave. And we feel just so fortunate. Without exception, and this is not an exaggeration, without exception, every single person that we have come into contact with in Abruzzo have been like wonderful, right? And as I was saying to you, Dave, I mean, Canadians, we're known as friendly people and kind of down to earth and whatever. The Abruzzo people are so welcoming, friendly, helpful, patient, like just lovely. And I mean, we I don't know how to explain this. We want to become part of the community, right? If we could, we'd be there now. We'd be there now, done and dusted. But of course, we've got to work and we've got jobs and we've got responsibilities for the time being. So, but the idea of being a visitor, I mean, I know we'll always be foreigners, right? No matter what. But I feel the desire to, what's the word? It's not ingratiate, but like get involved in the community, become part of the community. And they've, everyone we've dealt with have been so welcoming, just lovely. And I think it's unique to Abruzzo. I really do. I think the people there are just lovely.
Yeah,
lovely.
And it does open up so much, doesn't it? When you think back to, like lots of people will make lists. What do we need? We need to be near this. We need to have one of these handy. We could do with this. We could do with that. But then once you're actually there and live in it, and the things that you think about when you go home, there's probably nothing on those lists that you think about when you go home. It's all about the experiences you have and the amazing place it is. And that goes for us as well. I'm a foreigner here as well, and I still feel the same after all these years, and it never wears off. It grows even more because the people are absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing.
The location too, the Abruzzo location, as far as the peninsula is concerned, right? It's ideal. It's just ideal. You're a straight shot from Rome.
Yeah.
You're a straight shot to Pescara. The Adriatic is right there. You've got mountains, you've got lush landscape, you've got rivers, you've got lakes, you've got, like, I think what happens in North America is that a lot of people, I think because of, under the Tuscan sun and stuff, and, it's like Tuscany. And we went to Tuscany on the last trip for a couple of days. We wanted to check out the Arezzo antique market that falls, the first weekend of the month. And it was, it was nice to visit, but we were both like let's get home. Like, let's get home to Popoli, right? And then you pull up to your house and you're kind of like, you exhale, right?
It's strange, isn't it? Because I always say that Abruzzo is so homely. It's a home. It's always been home to us, and it's weird. And I agree. It's unique, I think, to I dare say people that live in Tuscany and Umbria and wherever else may well say the same. Sure. There's something about Abruzzo, but even Italians will, they have this thing for Abruzzo. When you say, where do you live? You say Abruzzo. The first thing they say, Bella Abruzzo, and it's almost that, it's that motherly feeling. It's that feeling of family. It's everything else. And even the Italians, no matter where we go on holiday, as soon as you mention Abruzzo, it's just, I think the only region that possibly says there's better is Lazio, but I think that's because we're sort of butt up to them, if you like.
Exactly.
But every other region holds this thing for Abruzzo in a massive way. Yeah. So I'm just so glad that you love it and everything worked out in the end, and that's the main thing. I know you said earlier it's changed your lives, and to me that's fantastic. I think that's part of what we're in it for as well.
And to be clear, Dave, it's you that's done this for us. It's you and your team, and I'll say it again. I don't know that we would have been able to comfortably accomplish what we did. There's a lot of unknowns, and there's a lot of, because we're not Italian, we don't understand the system. The buying process is obviously nothing like it is in North America. And your team, you guys just, you do what I call, you take the think out of it for us, right? We don't have to stress about it. We don't have to worry about it. And it sounds cliche, but we couldn't have done it without you. And you've changed our lives for the better. And we are just so genuinely so excited about what the future holds for us in Italy. Troy, I can't wait to see your guys' place. Troy, a fellow Canadian, Nova Scotia. Excited for you guys too. It's just a wonderful experience, wonderful community. Your clients, everyone It's great.
So kind of you to say it, and yeah, it's as I said to you earlier, and I say it many times. It's a business for us, of course. It is. We have to earn a living, but we love this kind of thing, and we love, especially when we know people enjoy things so much, because we do. We've it changed our lives, and it's great to be able to sort of pass that on as well. And yeah, so before I get too emotional, I suppose I bring, and just to let you know as well, and to let other people know that I've bought from us. I am gonna, because you mentioned the community of people that you get to know as well. We are going to open up a Facebook group. Somebody's been asking me to do it for a while for all the buyers. I think it'd be a good way for everybody to sort of keep in touch as well, and to pass any I don't know, recommendations on and things like that. So we're definitely going to be doing that soon as well. Okay, do you mind staying on for a couple of minutes, and we'll just bring the two Ronnies on as we play in the UK, because it's that time again. Let's bring him back on.
Hey,
There it is.
This is where it all goes downhill.
Oh yeah,
Tony, did you hear the emotion in them that was happening between Cathi and me? See what she thinks about us. Not you, obviously.
No, not for me.
Okay, let's bring Domenico on. He's there. Let's bring him on.
Hey,
Buonasera.
hey, buonasera.
Ciao.
Ciao, Domenico.
Hi.
So obviously you did meet Domenico, didn't you? When
No,
No, we met his wife.
we met.
you met
Ah,
Sylvia.
Sylvia.
Okay.
The boss. My
The
wife.
boss.
Okay, so for everybody that has just joined us, anybody that's just joined us or don't know what's going off now, we're back to Tony and Domenico's tongue twisting trials. It's guess the film. Tony's going to do it again in Italian. I'm going to send it to Domenico now. Okay, Tony, do you want to start while Domenico's studying?
Yeah, I will. Yeah.
Go for it.
Okay. Sorry, I'll start again. Non ci arrenderemo silenziosamente al notte. Non svaniremo senza combattere. Andremo avanti. Sopravviveremo.
Hai capito, Domenico?
Forse sì. Cioè, ho capito quello che anche
Hai capito tutto?
tu, Tony, ormai the best. The best.
Grazie, no.
So he's saying he obviously is
No, I don't want to talk to you. You go away.
Ok, Domenico. So, allora devo parlare in inglese o in italiano, ho dimenticato. So Domenico's going to say it now in English, and then people can guess the film. So Tony, you stay off the things, because sometimes you add people on too late. I'll do the chat thing. You concentrate on what's happening. Okay, Domenico, in English, in inglese.
Yes.
Vai.
We will not go quickly into the night. We will not vanish without a fight. We are going to live on. We are going to survive.
Bravo. Oh my! Somebody got it straight away.
Well done. Hey, that's probably your best one ever.
Can't believe it.
4th of July.
I probably shouldn't, considering what's happened. This is Bridget. Bridget's buying a place in Palombaro. I can't believe she got that. Independence Day. That's probably a touchy subject this week, isn't it, with what's been going off? I'm not going to mention politics again. I can't believe it. Bridget's got, I did say it was going to be, Troy says The Matrix, so definitely not. So it's Bridget on Facebook. Anybody else got it on YouTube?
Rob T.
Go on, you put it on. I can't see that, Tone.
Oh, okay, Rob T.
Well, that still says Facebook to me, Rob T. Anyway, the first person. Oh no, it's YouTube. You're right. The first person is Bridget. Well done, Bridget. Bridget's going to be a meet. Well, actually, she was on the show a few weeks ago. I can't believe we're still getting people. Braveheart. No, it's definitely not. Independence Day is correct. Next week it's going to be extremely difficult. Tony, useless as usual. Thank you. Domenico, grazie. Ci vediamo domani mattina. Apprezza. So I'll be seeing Domenico tomorrow morning, because he's got some fantastic properties apparently in Prezza. So we better not show Troy those, because he's buying his next week. Oh, Troy's got a fantastic place. Allora, ci vediamo domani.
Ok.
Buonasera. Okay, guys. Well, thank you so much for giving up time. I really appreciate it. It's great to hear your story. And next time you're out, we'll definitely have to. I always say this, and I really want to see people every time. The problem is we don't live too close to there, but even people that buy in Palombaro, our lives are just crazy. Everybody comes out obviously on holiday, and we just seem to. We still got our son at home that goes to school, even though he's 18. So Silvana treats him like he's 3. So we sort of, our lives are just about work, school, and very little us time at the moment. So it's not that we don't want to see you. Obviously, we want to see you. And when next time you come out, just let us know, and hopefully we can have some time together. We can meet you in person.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess the other thing that we would say too is that, you know, for people that, you know, are in the process or, you know, are thinking about the process or whatever, feel free to pass on, you know, my contact information, Dave, if somebody, you know, wants to reach out and just talk about it. I've always been a big proponent on, you know, getting together some sort of a Facebook page for us, because there is, there's a lot of stuff to learn and processes to understand. And I think it's comforting if there's a group of people that have been, you know, through it before. Yeah. So we're happy to, you know, answer questions and share our experience, and, you know, we're there for you guys.
Really appreciate that. That's really kind of you. Okay, then. So thank you so much, Chris. It was great to meet you as well. And
seen you lots, but never chatted. So
yeah, hopefully we'll get to share a glass of wine or something like that. Or hopefully I can be sat next to you on this step.
Yes.
And hopefully we can have a glass of wine on there at some point.
Great idea.
I'll bring you a proper torch from Canada.
Please, yeah. Huge.
All right,
brilliant.
Dave.
Thank you so much again, and we'll catch up with you really soon.
Sounds great.
Cheers.
Thank you. Bye. Okay, guys, that's it. That's Meet the Home Buyers. It's always a great one, isn't it? That I enjoy. What a fantastic couple. It's always nice when, always good when people are on and made the right decision and loving life out here. It really is an amazing place. I say it all the time. You're probably sick of me saying it, and I always talk about the people and everything else. It's just so great when other people experience the same thing. And as you will notice on every single Meet the Home Buyer, everybody says the same thing. It's not unique to one town. It may be quite unique to Abruzzo, the way people are, but all the towns, there's everybody that purchases a property here all have the same stories, whether it's with a neighbor, whether it's with their old owner, whether they just bumped into somebody and then it turned into something. It happens all the time. And I always say that says so much about Italians for me. It's a huge thing. And about the Abruzzese, it says so much about these people. I think they're just fantastic. And that becomes more important than a view out of your window, which is always nice to have, but you get views everywhere. The most important things are those things that nobody can ever sell to you. Nobody can ever film. Their experiences that you will have, and believe me, it will happen to you as well. Okay, thank you so much as usual for all your support. We'll see you again next Tuesday, same time. Not sure what we're going to do next week, but you'll get to know. I'll publish it. Thank you so much. Have a fantastic week.